Hello, I'm the nostalgia critic guy, remember? So you don't have to. You ever have that movie you enjoy and you didn't know other people didn't enjoy and you're like, why, it's totally fine. Why don't you give this movie a chance? Sky High. I'm talking about Sky High this time. Released 20 years ago in 2005, I'll admit I was on board with this idea from the start. Yes, it was cashing in like many movies were on the Harry Potter premise of, what if it's a school, but everyone's an insert popular kid thing here. But even if Harry Potter wasn't a thing, the idea of a school training superheroes opens up a lot of possibilities. Everything I saw in the trailer, from the cast to the cool cinematography to the jokes, were all working for me. But then I found apparently this film had quite a hate train even before it came out, particularly from younger viewers. And I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe they were getting bombarded by too many enchanted high school movies, or since this was before the MCU, it felt like a sellout from Disney trying to cash in on superheroes suddenly becoming popular again. Or maybe they felt like it was trying to overshadow another family of superheroes Disney handled better. Now that's all speculation, but I feel like if you give this movie a chance, it's pretty fun. Okay, it's nothing amazing, not everything works, but I feel like it's better than many people give credit. I guess that's showing a little bit as some audience scores are starting to go up, but they're still not that strong. So I want to go back and see if this movie was worth the belittling it got, or if there's something more super about it than I guess it lets on. So let's go back to the childhood of Robert Serber from Oppenheimer. Yeah, that was a random discovery. Let's take a look at Sky High. So right off the bat, the film feels like it's in good hands, as 2/3 of the writers were the creators of two superhero shows, Kim Possible and Buzz Lightyear, which are both regarded as very imaginative and very funny. And as the credits roll, the setup is already pretty good, as we focus on a kid named Will, played by Michael Angarano, who has no superpowers despite his parents being the greatest superheroes in the world, the Commander and Jetstream, played by Kurt Russell and Kelly Preston.
Will, I just want you to know how proud I am. Whatever happens to me, you'll still be around to save the world.
You alone can protect us from Comic Sans. Seriously, between this and epic movie, the early 2000s should have known better.
Good morning, Mrs. Stronghold. Morning.
Will has a friend named Layla, played by Danielle Panabaker, who often reminds them when they forget their secret identities.
Good morning, Commander.
You know, wouldn't it make more sense if the reason people fall for that is everyone else forgets their glasses, especially mine? Layla's powers are already in full bloom, as Will is nervous his powers may never come. Even his friend Zach, played by Nicholas Braun, got his over the summer.
So what is it? You have to wait and see like everybody else. But it's awesome, man. It's awesome.
It's hype, man. It's gonna be really distracting on the set of Succession.
Next up, Sky High.
As you may have guessed, it's their first day at the superhero high school, as they take their rocket bus literally into the clouds where it's hidden. And if you thought no part of that sentence sounded cool, I'm sorry nobody gave you a comic during childhood.
I was frozen!
You got your callbacks last week. They're immediately assigned their own Bulk and Skull bullies named Lash and Speed.
We'd be happy to collect that $15 new student fee.
There was nothing about a new student fee in the handbook.
It's what we charge people to be typecast in future superhero projects. Speaking of which, we're introduced to Mary Elizabeth Winstead playing Gwen Grayson, a pretty funny combo of secret identity names. Which makes sense, as a lot of the visual look of the movie seems to combine the tilted angle campiness of the Adam West Batman show with a lot of the fun camera gimmicks of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies.
Good morning, I am Principal Powers.
Nailing my cameo much better than in this movie.
I'm not Wonder Woman, you know.
For the most part.
My word is law. My judgment is final.
Bruce Campbell plays Coach Boomer. Again, this film should earn a star just based on its casting, who assigns kids the roles of superhero or sidekick depending on their powers.
Car.
Would love to see the government paperwork for dropping Car on student budget. Zach reveals his powers, sorta, saying he can glow in the dark.
I'm glowing. Maybe we could turn off these lights.
Hey, that's not fair. We'll have a supervillain's weakness as a prize in a cereal box. I know it's this guy's.
Oh, hero. Get out of here, knucklehead.
If I was Bruce Campbell, I'd pinch my own ass. Is maybe the weirdest thing I've said yet. When it's Will's turn, he's of course embarrassed he doesn't have any powers.
You're messing with the coach, just like your old man. Car.
Like I said, after Harry Potter, liabilities just didn't exist in schools anymore. Once he's sentenced to sidekick, he's sent to the school nurse, played by Cloris Leachman. Again, just cementing what an amazing cast this film has.
I remember doing this to your father when he was just your age. Kicked me right through that wall.
There's a school cemetery around the corner, isn't there? She tries to give some advice about how he can get super abilities.
fall into a vat of toxic waste, their powers usually show up the next day.
Or they die.
I'm sorry. No kids movie with that line is it's just nothing. That is funny people saying funny shit. She says she's only aware of one other person with 2 superhero parents who never got superpowers.
Ron Wilson, bus driver.
Again, in what bizarro superhero universe is that not funny? Will still isn't telling his father about his lack of powers, especially when he's shown his secret sanctum, which no one is allowed into. He even shows his prized possession from a supervillain named Royal Pain.
Royal Pain's pacifier. And this is my proudest possession.
What's it do?
No idea.
Some say it plays Disney's most torturous weapon, a film worthy of this film's hate. The next day, he and most of his friends go to Sidekick Training or superhero support, as that's not PC anymore, which is taught by David Foley playing All-American Boy.
Without hero support, there wouldn't be any heroes. All right, there probably would be, but they would be very lonely.
I mean, imagine Disney films without sidekicks. Don't do that the more I think about it. Will finds out All-American Boy was also his father's sidekick, even though he never heard of him.
Makes sense. The commander does not have time to sit around flipping through scrapbooks that I took the time to make for him.
Sometimes this is like the Tick superheroes if they got even sadder. A sudden Kids in the Hall reunion recurs as Mr. Medulla, played by Kevin McDonald, interrupts the class to remind people he is in fact doomed to always play a weird science guy with a weird science voice.
Little misfire in the mad science lab. No need to panic, unless you're a single-cell organism.
Still less creepy than Daniel Radcliffe. After they learn more and more in class, by the way, I love they show nobody ever helped these two. Will finally gets the courage to tell his father he's a sidekick because he has no powers.
Tuition we pay them?
I don't have any powers.
But you will.
I'm proud to be a sidekick.
Now you could easily connect this to kids being different in a number of ways. The father wants to be supportive, but it's clear he's very let down and shouldn't be, so Will stands up for himself and kids just like him. No kids, no guess who's coming to dinner or anything.
And I can only imagine what your grandfather would have said if I'd have brought some of them home.
But I think kids could make a relatable connection. And again, they still work in some great humor.
I know you're disappointed. So am I. You think I didn't want to see my son fly?
Or have super strength.
Or fly?
I always dreamed one day he'd be dressed like a firecracker ice pop. Things don't get better at school when a kid named Warren Peace, God, these names are great, is pissed off at Will because while his mother is a superhero, his father is a supervillain who the commander put away. Try the middle of the table, dumbass. But sure enough, Will finally gets his power of super strength, which is refreshing as most movies would have him discover it in the climax of the film, not halfway through. Does he do that every time? Wow, he does it every time. I mean, I guess if my arms caught fire, I would make a sound, but isn't it like every time Wolverine's claws pop out, he goes, "Ow, hurt!"
What if I said it's not just her twin, it's her evil twin?
Oh, did I mention the action is surprisingly creative too? They both get in trouble for fighting and are sent to the detention room where their powers don't work. I feel like 90% of the school should be that.
And I'm gonna finish it.
Don't bother. The detention room neutralizes all superpowers.
Even that little lighter click sound effect, they didn't need that, but it adds a nice little chuckle.
Whatever happened with our dads, it has nothing to do with us.
If you ever cross me again, I'll roast you alive.
You're just angry because you know half the audience thinks you're Jacob. Will returns home to let his parents know of his newly discovered power.
I got my powers today.
Yes, we know. The principal called.
Okay.
That is such a simple effect, but it's surprisingly effective.
Sanctum. Come here.
You're not mad?
How can I be mad?
I wonder if part of the hate this movie gets is because of how shallow the father can be. He both loves his son a little too much and not enough. Being too strict when he should be supportive and letting him off the hook when he should be punished more.
Ow! Sorry. Ow! You are strong!
Even Will getting his powers halfway through could arguably be going against the message, like, oh, if there's something different about you, it'll go away and everybody will love you. But first off, his friends do still keep their less impressive powers, and they show there are ways they can be utilized. They shouldn't be underestimated. And second, this isn't Encanto, like if she got her powers that would really be going against the feel of the movie. This is definitely focusing more on laughs. And on a comedic level, it is damn hilarious.
If your mom asks,
I took away your Xbox.
But I don't have an Xbox.
I guess the dad technically grows throughout the film, but it's not carefully constructed in something like How to Train Your Dragon or Finding Nemo. It's debatably effective, but honestly, if we're gonna do the dad acting like a douche trope, I really am more lenient if he's a funny douche.
The boy has Stronghold's power. It's almost poetic.
Little do they know, though, Royal Pain seems to be watching him.
Well, you know, time would move a lot faster if we had an Xbox. Uncle.
Yeah, take that, Harvey Quinn.
Congratulations, you've been transferred to the hero class.
Because of his powers, he's upgraded out of the Sidekicks class, leaving his friends behind. They still show their support, but he doesn't always return it as he's starting to become friends with Gwen.
Guys, over here.
Sorry, awful.
Here, that's very similar to how Disney produces child stars. He does stick up for him a little bit, though, stopping the bullies from stuffing them in lockers. But that only intensifies his problems.
If Will beat you and save the citizen, you lay off of sidekicks for the rest of the year.
He participates in Save the Citizen.
Remember when we used to use real citizens?
yes.
Yes.
What is wrong with you if you don't think that's hilarious? And Will gets teamed up with Warren. Will and Warren surprisingly look after each other and save the citizen, again endearing Will even more to Gwen.
Gwen here has offered to help Will with his science homework, and she's a senior.
So if they, it might be illegal for a year or two. This causes him to forget he was supposed to meet up with Layla at a restaurant, but what a coinky-dink, Warren happens to be the waiter there. They chat it up and she ends up admitting she has a crush on Will.
To let true love remain unspoken is the quickest route to a heavy heart.
That is really deep.
And your lucky numbers are.
He really is like Jacob. He has better chemistry with the girl than the boy she's supposed to have chemistry with. Of course, part of that could be Will and Gwen are already moving pretty fast.
You're not that boy with the 6 arms, are you?
No, sir. Just do.
We'll keep them to yourself.
Yes, sir.
One of her superpowers is she gives birth to kids who eat their father. Don't ask how I know that. He apologizes to Layla for missing their meetup and makes things even worse when he admits he's taking Gwen to homecoming. So Layla says she's taking Warren.
I told him I was going with you instead.
So, you're not doing this just because you like me or anything. You're doing this to get a stronghold.
Oh, Christ, is he gonna feel jaded like a stupid love triangle?
And I'm in.
See what I mean? We saved like 10 minutes on a boring subplot. Granted, there are still emotional idiots longing for emotional idiots, but it's a story about high school. It can't be complete fiction. Gwen tricks Will into throwing a party at his house, and when Gwen tells Layla Will doesn't like her, Will finally breaks it off with Gwen.
And I think that you need to figure out whether you want to hang with us or with those losers.
I'm not going anywhere with you, not now or not to homecoming.
Again, I feel like most movies would drag that out later and let him be a jerk longer, but I like he draws the line not at the best time, but not beyond reason either.
The count of 3, I want everyone out of this house!
The parents return home and of course are gonna think this is all Will's fault.
Dad, I swear, I didn't plan this.
All right, it's good enough for me.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, he's comedically shallow, but man, does it save us a lot of boring tropes. In fact, often they're replaced with a good running joke, like this throwaway line earlier.
What if I said it's not just her twin, it's her evil twin?
Actually has a decent payoff.
Thanks, Boom, for inviting me.
Looks like no boom from my stick tonight. Will bumps into Warren at the restaurant. They have a heart-to-heart about Layla.
Because we're only going together to make you jealous.
Huh?
Dude, you're so stupid.
Hey, how's I supposed to know this epic team-up was gonna suck? The night of the dance arrives as Gwen reveals herself to be an evil mastermind. Oh my god! That weird-ass jester was also playing her father? That guy has range.
Now prepare to be pacified.
It's revealed the pacifier, you guessed it, turns people into babies. As it's revealed, Gwen was a sidekick years ago and got turned into a baby herself, forcing her to grow up again, hungry for vengeance. She even convinced the current popular kids to be her henchmen.
Get as many people out as you can. I'll slow her down.
Somehow he's the only baby with a cleft chin. The sidekicks escape, though they get lost in the dark tunnels.
Ladies, if I may.
Bet all the reindeer love to.
I can't add to that joke, I just think it's cute. As Will makes his way to the school, figuring out Gwen's evil plan.
In case my homecoming date ends up killing me tonight, I just want you to know.
Dude, she was going with me. They all team up to take out Royal Pain and her minions, as she loads up the babies in just a weird, odd visual.
Royal Pain wasn't my mother. Royal Pain is me!
Oh my god. I mean, I was an old lady.
I know it's a joke, but it is kind of disturbing. Everybody uses their powers in a unique way to take out the villains, again, leading to some really fun cinematography. As Will finds out, he flies now.
There's only one person authorized to transport superheroes, and that's Ron Wilson, bus driver. And I'm Ron Wilson, bus driver.
I do love he's officially credited as that too. Payne rigs the school to fall as well, but our heroes work together to save the day.
That could have been messy.
I guess the director's a SpongeBob fan too. Misguided. The doctor as a baby says he can get everyone back to normal.
Regrettably, I had made boom boom.
Like I said, not every joke works. And the sidekicks are finally called what they are, heroes.
I can't do anything more to help you.
I went through puberty twice for this.
I convinced myself I had a thing for Matthew Broderick 2 times!
My girlfriend became my arch enemy became my best friend, and my best friend became my girlfriend. But hey, that's high school.
It certainly not at all is, but I don't care. This movie was funny. Again, it's not a comedy classic, but I think it's really inventive and enjoyable. I just don't understand the mixed reception it got. Whether they're lighter jokes or darker jokes or jokes for kids or jokes for adults, the majority of them work. The characters aren't anything to write home about, but I like them fine. And while the lesson is very loose to say the least, there are still nuggets of relatable issues that I think most kids can connect to in some way. Yeah, I unapologetically and unironically enjoy this film. It's not gonna make my list of favorite comedies, but with a cast this cool, an idea this inventive, shots this fun, and jokes this funny, I can still say 20 years later, it's a soaring good time. I'm a nostalgia critic, I remember it, so you don't have to.
Remember when we used to use real citizens?
Yes. Yes.